Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of our upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest that I liked so much in the past that I brought him right back for another return episode. So today's guest is Antoine Martel, who is a partner over at MartelTurnkey. Antoine, welcome back to the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me back.
So I'm excited to get into what you're doing right now and what kind of projects you're working on and markets. But before we do that, let's get into what a little bit more about what you're doing over at MartelTurnkey. So a lot of new listeners don't want to assume they caught the first episode. So first, tell us a little bit more about the business, please.
Sure. Yeah, so we have a full-service turnkey rental property company. So what that means is my company goes out, buys properties, renovates them, rents them out, puts a property management company in place, and then resells them to investors. Those investors buy those properties with tenants in place. They're already fully renovated. They come with property management, which is all third party. And then we help our clients get financing and insurance as well. So really we help them get into, rental property investing. And the two markets we're focusing on right now is Memphis, Tennessee, and Cleveland, Ohio. I think, last time I was on the podcast, we were in Birmingham and St. Louis. We have since shut down those markets or slowed down and decided to double up on Memphis and Cleveland as well because they were just outbeating what was going on in Birmingham and St. Louis for us. So we've kind of narrowed down the amount of markets, but have doubled the deals that we're doing now. So it's been great. It's been a crazy end to 2019. We had our biggest month ever, which was selling in December 2019. We sold 14 houses.
Wow.
And then January this month we're on track to do around 13. So these last 2 months have been really crazy, and we're hoping that the craziness continues.
Man, that's exciting. So let's go a little bit further into what it means to purchase a turnkey property, because I don't want to assume that everybody knows, number one, and I don't want to assume that every turnkey operation is created equally. Let's say that.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, and so turnkey rental properties for us means, you're buying a property that has a tenant in place already. It's already fully renovated. So you don't have to go and buy a property and wait for it to be tenanted. You don't have to buy a property and, wonder who's going to manage that property when it's done. So for us, we help our clients with every single aspect that their property is going to need, in order for it to be successful. A lot of other turnkey property companies out there, won't tell you what they're renovated. They won't tell you, they won't fill the property with a tenant in place. So you have to buy the property and then hope that you get it rented out for this range or something like that. Other companies out there too will connect you with a property management company that they own. So they're not only making money when they sell you the home, but then they're making recurring revenue from you, throughout the life of the property as well. So even if they gave you the house for free, they're still going to make money from you in the long term with their property management services. So there's a lot of things to watch out for when you do get into turnkey rental property. The beautiful thing though about them, especially in the markets that we're in, is you can buy a house in Cleveland, Ohio for $80,000 in a B-class neighborhood. You put 20% down with the lender that we recommend to you. So it's like $16,000, a couple $1,000 in closing costs. So you're all in for just shy of $20,000 to buy your first turnkey rental. And then that property will cash flow positively around $250 per month. So in the end, it's a really great return. It's a very safe investment. You have, a bank funding 80% of your transaction. So that helps with all the tax benefits and stuff like that as well. So it's a great way to dip your toes into the real estate investment industry.
Any kind of trends you're noticing? So you mentioned you switched up your markets a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about that, please.
Yeah, sure. So one of the reasons was bandwidth of contractors in Birmingham and St. Louis. They just didn't have enough bandwidth. And then slowly, as we started to do more projects in Memphis, the bandwidth of our contractor there got tapped out as well. So Bandwidth was one thing. In terms of trends, we were just seeing a ton of inventory in Cleveland, Ohio, and a ton of great stable returns for our investors in Cleveland compared to the other markets. So really like 80-90% of the turnkeys we do now are going to be Cleveland, Ohio, because we were seeing, in Cleveland, Ohio, for example, you can buy a single family home, B-class neighborhood, really solid neighborhood, no crime, close to jobs for $80,000. You go to Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, St. Louis, other Midwest markets, that same house is going to cost you $125,000, $150,000. So the bang for your buck that we were seeing in Cleveland, Ohio for the class of tenant, the class of neighborhood, and then also the proximity to great jobs. Like, these neighborhoods we're investing in Cleveland are 10-minute, 5-minute drive to Cleveland Clinic headquarters, to Amazon distribution facilities, et cetera. So that's one huge trend that we have noticed over the last couple of years in Cleveland. It was just so underpriced for the kind of product that you could get on the market compared to these other markets. And so that's one thing that's, really been exciting us. And we think that, if the markets do continue to trend upwards, which they've been doing for too long now, 10 years, something's going to happen. But if the markets do continue to keep going the way they are, I think those properties that are worth $80,000 today are going to be worth a whole lot more in the next, 3, 5, 10 years, if the market continues to trend this way.
So, what do you see going into 2020? Not asking you to quite have the crystal ball, but you do have a pulse on this because you are. You're in this day in and day out, and with the volume of houses that you're turning over, you're definitely in the market.
Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, so we're doing around 10 houses. Our goal this year is 120 homes. So around buying and selling 10 houses per month. Yep. Yes, last year our goal was 100, and we were just shy of it. We got 85 houses. But this year in January, we've hired 3 new people full time. We've started a wholesaling business to help us find more off-market deals. So we've kind of built our beast up a little bit and reinvested all of our money back into the business so that we can, really meet our goal of 120 homes this year. And with the market, I am a little bit worried. I wish the recession, or whatever's going to happen would just happen tomorrow. The biggest thing, I think once it does happen, then I'm going to be fine. But, when things have been going so well for so long, it kind of freaks me out. Kind of the misery or the downturn is going to make me feel more comfortable, because I'm going to know it's already happened and then we'll be good for the next 10 years. So I'm kind of anxious for it to happen already. And what I think is going to happen is there's going to be some huge shift in the stock market. I think the stock market is just way too overpriced, and you have all these people that are now relying on their 401ks or IRAs, and if the market does take a hit and they try to pull that money out, all the baby boomers that are retiring now and they have no money to pull out, I think it's going to be a huge shake to the whole economy in the U.S., especially in these very expensive markets where I live, like Los Angeles. And people's Social Security is $700. How are they going to live in California? They can't. So I think it's gonna cause a whole lot of fuss in the U.S. and a lot of people are going to leave California or these very expensive markets to move to the Midwest or to these more affordable markets where they can't afford to live. So I think there's going to be a huge change, and we're already kind of seeing it with the way that Nashville has exploded, Florida has exploded, Texas and Austin, Texas has exploded because of these lower price points. So I think we're going to start to see more and more of that happen over the next 3, 5, 10 years. But for 2020 and having some sort of recession or something like that, I'm hoping it happens this year. Again, everybody's been every January for the last 3 Januaries, people have said it's going to happen this year. But I'm hoping it does happen, and I hope that it's something stock market related, which people are going to then pull their money out of the stock market and invest it into real estate, so the prices do stay stable or go up, which is a possibility in my markets because they are very affordable. I think that in some markets that have, like Nashville, which have exploded over the last 3 years, I think maybe those may get hit a little bit harder because you have all these people who kind of paid a premium, and now maybe they'll be hit with some effects of this recession that's coming.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Anton, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Martel Turnkey or to connect and look at some of these homes, what's the best way for them to do that?
Absolutely. So for Martel Turnkey, if you're interested in turnkey rental properties, the best way would be to go to our website, MartelTurnkey.com. We're actually sold out right now, but you can always click that button that says Contact Us and schedule a phone call with us. We also have a live chat bot on the website as well, if you're on the website within normal business hours. So there's a bunch of ways to get in touch with us there through the website. You can join our buyers list by clicking the top bar that says Join Our VIP Buyers List. So that's another great way. And then if you want more information and just want to know, kind of behind the scenes what I'm doing, I post a lot of content on Instagram and YouTube, so feel free to check me out just by searching my name, or you can search on Instagram, Martel Antoine.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Anton, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background, all the great stuff you're doing over at Martel Turnkey, and to help these investors with these turnkey properties. So, no, great stuff there. Been on your site. You can see a lot of the past homes you sold, and once you get some more inventory, I'm sure you're going to see some more. But very transparent. Love the site. Love the model. And what you're doing to help these investors out here get a return on their investment. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave us some comments. A lot of things said today about the market, what may or may not happen going forward. I'd love to hear your input. Leave us some comments on the video section, and don't forget to subscribe. And Anton, thanks again for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.